We learn here and now to awaken in our dreams. We learn in our dreams to awaken here and now. This is your co-host Skull Babylon, and you're about to listen to episode 37 of Paradigm Shift Radio. On this episode, we welcomed on Jonah, one of the coordinators of the upcoming Lucidity Festival in California that I myself plan on attending to create our next full-length film. Jonah filled us in on the history and the intention behind the festival and what makes it so unique. The festival is going to be a dream in itself, allowing participants to explore the multiple aspects of themselves through the various themes and connect with some really amazing people, art, musician, and more. So be sure to attend it yourself if you feel the call. After that, we welcomed on the young and talented musician Little Panda onto the show to celebrate the release of her first full-length independent album. Little Panda is a super chill individual by nature who is here to share her music straight from her heart to connect with yours. Be sure to check out, support, and enjoy her work. After our Synchronized group meditation, we welcomed on more community members onto the show and talked a bit about synchronicity and chaos out of symmetry. Be sure to check out all the websites related to this episode for the Lucidity Festival and for Little Panda's music, and also for the funding page for the Journey to Lucidity film project. Check out the new trailer online, share it, donate when you can, and help in the creation of something awesome. Be sure to join us for future episodes at facebook.com/paradigmshiftradio. Check out the main website at paradigmshiftcentral.com. Keep reaching out to the community in your area, be inspired, shift the paradigms, and enjoy the show. Everything that exists is perception, and all that we are is the perceiver. You are the perceiver, and I am the emitter, and my name is Brendon, aka Skull Babylon, and you are listening to another episode of Paradigm Shift Radio. So, guys, we got a pretty good one tonight, and obviously I'm happy to be able to say that every episode, because, you know, every episode sort of got its own feel to it, and that's really the exciting part, is that, you know, we're not very just like one flavor. Like, we are the flavor that is created through like the conglomeration of all the different shades that each of us, like, you know, all of us sort of show up to the picture with like a different shade of paint to add to the picture, and then as we throw all these brush strokes all over the place, the picture just sort of like really comes into this beautiful smorgasbord of creativity, if that would be an appropriate way to put it. So tonight on the show we will be having Jonah from the Lucidity Festival, and as well as Little Panda, who is a musician, and she's going to be on the show later. And originally we were talking about her being able to play a live acoustic set, although I don't think that's going to happen just because the location that she's in doesn't fully work for that. But we will be probably having her on a future episode, which will be able to do the live acoustic side of it. But we will be playing and sampling some of her music as well, so it'll be very cool. And if you guys can just confirm for me, people in the live chat, that is sounding okay for you guys. I'm pretty sure everything is A-okay. And with that said, we will be moving forward with this episode and not really spending too much time on community news with this one. We will be bringing Jonah onto the show fairly soon, but just a couple things. In terms of new paradigm shift communities to emerge, one of the recent paradigm shift communities to emerge, and this one I'm actually pretty excited to mention, is Paradigm Shift Liverpool. And obviously that's in the UK. And a big shout out to Shane, who was able to start that up. And Shane was actually joining us on the show last week, within the last couple minutes. And, you know, he was talking and stuff like that, and through his interaction with us, he's now encouraged to be able to start the Paradigm Shift community in Liverpool. So congratulations to Shane. Let's send him a little bit of, like, bonus, like, encouragement and inspiration, because, yeah, you know, like, we want to be able to encourage anybody to be able to start up the Paradigm Shift community where they are as well. And another shout-out is to Paradigm Shift Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, if I believe that is correct. And I'm posting the links for those into the live chat, but if you go to facebook.com/paradigmshiftradio, you'll see those same links posted just underneath one of the posts there. So now it's interesting, and I double-checked, I'm allowed to mention this. The people who are involved as the facilitators for this Paradigm Shift community, apparently they work for Xbox, which I think is really cool. That means, you know, like Xbox being like a part of like Microsoft in some way or another. Like, there's paradigm shifty people all across the world, and I just love the idea of people who are involved with the gaming industry, because I mean that's something that I'm personally like really passionate and really interested about, who are on board with this paradigm shift movement. Because, and maybe this is a whole nother topic for another episode, but it's one I'm really interested in, is the idea of utilizing video game technology for like educational purposes and even like spiritual advancement in its own way. So best of luck to them, and we'll hopefully be able to hear from them in the near future in terms of what's going on in their community. And of course, if you yourself are involved with the Paradigm Shift community, be sure to call into the show later today, because once we sort of go through Jonah and go through Little Panda, we'll be opening up the airlines to the air to anybody who wants to call in and give us maybe a bit of an update on how things are going in their community, or at any, or whatever it is that you guys want to bring to the show, whether you're directly associated with the Paradigm Shift community currently or not. I mean, technically by listening to the show, you're associated with the global community, obviously, but whatever you want to bring to the show, this is another episode to be able to do it. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts, your ideas, your experiences, your questions that you want to be able to practice talking about with the global audience. Because at the end of the day, what we are doing here on Paradigm Shift Radio, we are talking things out. We are engaging in conversation for the mere act of being able to practice talking about a lot of these things that we don't usually get a chance to talk about. I mean, it's great if we watch a bunch of videos on the internet and stuff, but if we want to be able to share these ideas with people in our community, we need to be able to practice having those communication experiments where we can just work with all these ideas floating around in our head and process them through our mouth. I mean, there's a lot going on there when you think about it, and that's where, the more we practice it, the more we'll be able to do it, the more we'll be able to serve our community at large. So in other community news, I'll just be mentioning this because this is something that you heard me mention last week, the Journey to Lucidity video project, which ties in with the Lucidity Festival, which is what Jonah is associated with, and which is why we're having him on, and we're going to be promoting the festival and what it's about as well. The Journey to Lucidity documentary, it's not really just a documentary. Like, I think just calling it film is more appropriate. That is officially launched through the GoFundMe, so I'm going to be posting a link for that into the live chat, but the link that you guys can contribute to that is at gofundme.com/journey2lucidity, and that project, I'm just like getting so many new ideas for it every single day. It's not going to be like any other video that I've done before. Like, it will be a full-length documentary, and the best way I could sort of explain it, if people here have seen the movie Waking Life, okay, yeah, a lot of people have seen that. If people have seen the movie Enter the Void, okay, some of you have seen that. If anybody has seen any movie by Terry Gilliam, which is like, Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, or even anything by David Lynch, sort of combine those things plus new ideas that haven't even really, that you haven't even seen but are existing in my head, and sort of make that into what this film will be. It's going to be like a first-person/third-person/omni perspective version of the festival. Through my experience as a dreamer, and through me going around as a dreamer, I'll be talking to all these different people at the festival and getting all this knowledge and talking about like the topic of dream exploration, because evidently we want to be able to use this film as something we can share with mainstream culture, because that's essentially one of my main motives, is to be able to take this paradigm shifty discussion and educational process and get it more into mainstream, so that we can expand that ripple further, so that we can get more people in this whole global community involved with this whole consciousness shifting momentum thing that we're all a part of. I mean, it's great if we're having these conversations inside of our own bubbles, but part of the goal is, how do we expand our bubble? How do we invite more people into the conversation? So this film is one way that we'll be able to do that. And again, go to gofundme.com/journey2lucidity. If you've been listening to Paradigm Shift Radio or just involved with the Paradigm Shifty stuff for quite a while, and maybe you haven't had the opportunity to fully donate yet, this is where I am just saying, please, now is the time to donate, because the more that we can get behind this project, the more epic and the more amazing that we will be able to make it. And I use the term we because, I'm clicking the mouse and stuff like that, but like a lot of the inspiration for this is coming through what we as a community can collectively sort of bring together. So again, gofundme.com/journey2lucidity, or go to paradigmshiftcentral.com. For those of you who may be new to this whole paradigm shift thing, one last thing, and then I'll bring Jonah on. is the fact that the Paradigm Shift radio show that you're listening to right now is a branch of Paradigm Shift Central. So if you go to www.paradigmshiftcentral.com, you'll find all the links there, including the trailer for Journey to Lucidity, and all the links to the other global communities, and that's what it is. The Paradigm Shift Central is a hub for a global collective of communities, including, like I said, the Paradigm Shift Liverpool, Paradigm Shift Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and I myself being a part of Paradigm Shift London. And if you're interested, go to my YouTube at youtube.com/SkullBabylon, because I just posted up a video today of some audio from our meeting on Friday. It's about 30 minutes, and it's just really cool. It's just like raw audio of some of the stuff that we talk about. So by listening to what we talk about, it'll give you guys like encouragement and ideas for what you can talk about at your community meetings and just expand it beyond that. And just one more thing, I will give a shout out to some of the community pages who helped promote the show this week. Shout out to Wave1111. So Facebook.com/TheWave1111. They've been supporting us on and off for quite a while now, and more so consecutively within the last recent while, and I'm greatly appreciated for them. So everybody who's in the live chat, check out that link. So Facebook.com/TheWave1111, so 1111, the numbers, and be able to, and just go there, like their page, and keep an eye on it, because, I mean, they're definitely, like, putting out some good stuff, and they got some other radio content that they're involved with as well. And the other shout-out goes to the Cosmic Consciousness page, which has shared our show in the past as well, and that page is Facebook.com/cosmicness. So it's just Cosmicness, and the whole title is Cosmic Consciousness. So again, thank you to them for being able to support Paradigm Shift Radio and being able to invite more people into this interactive show that we're a part of, because we want to be able to bring like new people. Again, exactly what I was talking about, right? Expanding our bubble. That's what we're doing, and it helps when these pages like and share the content that we're putting out there. So thank you to anybody who may be new to the show. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to tell your friends. And yeah, so I'm going to bring Jonah onto the air, and obviously for those of you who have heard me already mention it, go to the Lucidity Festival website, which is www.lucidityfestival.com, and just browse the website while we're talking, because there's some things on there that will help give you a better idea of what this festival is about. So obviously, just to summarize, Lucidity Festival is happening in April from the 12th to the 14th. I myself am planning on going there with your guys' help through the donations for the Journey to Lucidity film fundraising project, and Jonah, who we're about to bring onto the air, is one of the coordinators of this festival, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about it and why you should be so excited about it. So Jonah, if you're ready, we're going to bring you onto the air now. So here we go. Hello, Jonah, can you hear me?
Hi, Brendon, can you hear me?
Hey, loud and clear. Cool, man.
Excellent.
All right, so obviously you are in California right now, I'm guessing?
Yep, Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara, cool. And the festival itself is taking place in Santa Ynez, which is not too far from Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's about a 30-minute drive up into the mountains at a beautiful spot called Live Oak Campground in Santa Ynez, right next to Lake Cachuma.
Nice, nice. Oh, that's sweet. So we'll be next to a lake. I love that. Perfect. Cool, man. Well, thank you, obviously, for being here on Paradigm Shift Radio. And so for the people out there who are listening to this, who might have maybe never heard of the Lucidity Festival, obviously they can get a bit of a guess that it has something to do with the theme of dreaming. Just tell them a little bit more about the festival. You know, this is its second year happening. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Last year was our first year. The theme last year was Awaken in Your Dreams. And this is our second year. The theme this year is The Totem's Return. The festival is a open source transformational arts and music festival. So, you know, in that name, it really describes all the different aspects of it. It's art, everywhere from fine art. We have a fine art gallery, Branches Mobile Gallery. We have immersive art installations. We have beautiful stages and environments that really capture a whole lot of different spectrum of different types of creative genres. We have music. We are going to have 4 different musical stages, all sorts of different genres. It's anchored by the Lucid stage, which is sort of like West Coast, mid-tempo, bass-heavy music. Future Primitive is our headliner this year. Also Gladkill and Ilesha and kilowatts, and a whole amazing lineup. You can check it out on our website. And then the third aspect is transformation and education and consciousness. And so we have like pushing 7 workshop areas and maybe even a few more that offer educational and participatory experiences in sustainability and permaculture, kids workshops. It's a family-friendly event, lucid dreaming, yoga, flow and movement, dance. We're going to be setting a world record for the most people ecstatic dancing, and sound healing. One of the main parts of the festival is fee-free healing. We go to a lot of events and there's like a pay-by-the-hour kind of system for things like massage and energy work and that sort of thing. And ours is all free, and it's based on love offerings, equal energetic exchange, which doesn't have to be money. It can just be gratitude. So that's a little bit about the festival, the sort of like broad sweeps of what it is that we're creating in April.
Sure. For sure. Now, the other part of the festival, and if we can just get some more detail on this, like there's the whole theme with the totems as well. Now, like, are those? I mean, I'm just like looking at the website. Like, are those literally going to be different areas and different like related workshops? Like, I mean, on the website, for those of you, just go to lucidityfestival.com. Like on that main page, you can see like we've got like the coyote, the owl, the loving dove, the monkey, the tiger, and the dragon. Do you want to just talk a little bit more about what the idea behind those different like animal totems is and how that's integrated into the festival?
Sure, I'd love to talk about that. In our first year, we had 6 different villages. Our camping areas are organized into different villages. And in the first year, they were sort of organized around archetypal themes. There were the lovers, the family, the lunatic, the renegade, the warrior, and the healer. And in the first year, each of those also had a totem animal. And so much like sort of Jungian psychology, we were operating on this understanding that each of us has these different archetypes within us. And just like in a dream where you walk through a metaphor of your subconscious, we wanted to create an experience that was much like that, walking through sort of a dreamlike reality where all of the characters that we meet are reflections of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so that was the first year, and each of these different areas sort of called out to people that resonated with that type of archetypal energy, like the humble warrior, or the sacred healer, and or the wild renegade. And each of them had a totem animal, and then this year is all about a deeper exploration. The first year was about personal awakening. The second year is about personal exploration. Mm-hmm. The third year is going to be about personal stepping into who we truly are. Like
integration, kind of.
Right. Personal actualization.
Yeah.
The fourth year is going to be about sort of our collective past. The fifth year is going to be about our collective present, and the sixth year is going to be about our collective future. So we have this 6-year arc. And so this year, this is a really long-winded answer to your question, but that is all sort of the context that frames this second year, which is a second chapter, where individuals are embarking on personal exploration. And so the spirit animals of our world, our ancient traditions and our indigenous knowledge systems talk to us about how the animals are the guides and the ancestors. And they show up in our dreams and they show up in our actual life. And when they do, they have messages for us. And so each of these totem animals is sort of like loosely associated with these different villages. And if you think of the villages as, the archetypal villages as being the sort of physical location of the campground. So there's the Warrior's Way, and there's the Healing Sanctuary. The totem animals are the sort of flag of the totem tribe of the people who inhabit that village.
Yeah.
So the wise owl is the totem for the Healing Sanctuary. The humble tiger is the totem for the Warrior's Way. And then there's 6 more. There are 4 more. There's the playful coyote is the trickster's playground. The wild monkey is the nomad's nook. The loving doves is the lover's nest. We also have a concept of create your own totem tribe. So in line with our open sourceness, we've invited tribes of people who resonate around different animal energies to bring that energy with them. Oh, I forgot about the courageous dragon, which is the family garden. Mm-hmm. If you click through the website, you can find create your own totem tribes. We've also got a mermaid village that has come online around a mermaid totem mythological figure. It's dream, right? So anything goes. And we've got the Goddess Grove, which are the vivacious jaguars, the peacock perch, and there's a Burning Man theme camp from San Diego that's rallying big energy to come. They're Camp Ego Trip, and they're the Peacock and Peacocks.
Nice. Yeah, like that was one of the things, like this whole different multiple village idea. Like that was one of the things that really it made me excited about this festival in particular. Because it just seemed like a really cool idea to sort of be able to like go from one village to the next and say, you know, like, all right, we checked out this one for a while, let's go to that one, and then like go back to that one eventually. Because I mean, that's we're constantly doing that within our waking state. We're sort of, again, like we don't have to, you know, part of the idea is that like all of these like animal totems, like all of them are just like aspects of ourselves, and we're just sort of like leaning more towards one or the other at different points within our experience, sort of thing. But I'm really looking forward to be able to explore these different villages within the film, within the Journey to Lucidity film, just as a way to be able to like flesh out the story and to be able to like flesh out like the whole idea that like all of these are just like reflections of ourselves, and be able to like present those different villages as sort of gateways to exploring different parts of our own like identity and psychology. So yeah, like I'm really excited to be able to check out the Humble Tiger and the Warrior Way village. Like that's one that I'll definitely be hanging out in for a while. And I know you guys got some workshops and stuff going on there with like some bow staff stuff and everything. So I'll definitely be checking that out. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, our expanded workshop offerings are going to be dropping on Monday. So right now you just get a small taste of what's being offered, but there's so much content that is going to drop on Monday that, you know, what you see right now on the website might represent a fifth of the content that's going to be at the festival, and that's going to be live just in a couple days now.
Perfect. And how many people do you think you're expecting this year?
We'll probably be around 4,000 people. It's hard to tell exactly how many the numbers are because our sort of crew and volunteer base fluctuates a little bit, and we're, you know, bringing in people from all over the place and selling tickets, and we don't know if we're going to sell out. We sold out in our first year, and you know, we're looking like we're right on track to sell out again. So it'll probably be right around 4,000 people, and then there's day use also. So, you know, it's hard to gauge exactly how many people are there at one time.
For sure. And do you want to maybe just talk a little bit about more, like, I mean, you guys, you sort of mentioned this already, but you guys got like sort of like a 6-year story arc that you're sort of using to sort of like evolve this festival. You know, you're not just like doing it 1 year and then be like, oh, okay, you know, now what do we do? You know, like you already got like this whole sort of 6-year plan laid out ahead of you. Do you want to sort of talk a little bit about that some more?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really inspired by the work of Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey, and it's more than the hero's journey, it's the hero and the heroine's journey. And the idea of, you know, that all of our classic myths and all of the tales that we love, like Star Wars and Wizard of Oz and the Lord of the Rings, there's this sort of string that runs through all of them, which is the rite of passage and the transformation of self. And it follows sort of a formula of, separation from the normal day-to-day world, and then a series of initiations where you're tested and you come up against foes and you have allies, and then there's a reincorporation at the end when you come back changed. And that's the idea that we're trying to create, is that there's this larger story that by participating in just 1 year of the festival you can embark upon, or if you're interested in a longer journey, you can embark on the whole story.
Yeah.
And the idea is to bring awareness to the process of personal growth and development and inner seeking, with the intention of bringing together people who have embarked on that journey together for collective transformation and really potent changing the world, which is pretty much what your program is aligned with and all about, raising consciousness in individuals so that they can enact in the world actions and a philosophy into sort of lived behavior that creates real change in a world that desperately needs it.
Totally. Yeah, like we're all here to be of service, and the more that we can sort of like find our own path, the more we'll able to be of service. And yeah, like I was really, I was reading that, like sort of like on the story arc, I think it was within year 3, but yeah, just sort of reiterating, it's good if we can sort of blast ourselves out there into the cosmos and find that like interconnected oneness that, is that like whole sort of revelation of the consciousness sort of thing. But I mean, it's important for us to be able to like, in the same way that elastic band sort of like it goes out, like it's also going to retract at the same time, and we sort of like come back into the center of the mandala, and we need to be able to like return and sort of be of service to those who haven't fully had that like spark, right? And sometimes we need to be there to just like use our light to like help spark their light. I think of that simple metaphor that like a single candle can like light the flames of like an infinite amount of other candles, right? It's just that exponential thing. So yeah, like for all the people listening out there, like that's what our job is. Like it's about listening to the show, but what's even more important is what you decide to do tomorrow. What are you going to do for the rest of the week? How are you going to interact with the people in your community and bring more consciousness into the lives of others? So, and in turn, you yourself are learning as well, like through the act of like teaching, like you yourself are a student as well. So it's very cool. And it's very, like communal and full circle sort of thing. So yeah, I'm really excited about this festival, and one thing that I think is really cool, and it was like one of the first things that I sort of got when we were introduced to each other, is like your sort of primary totem animal that you associate yourself with. And do you want to just tell us which totem animal you sort of align yourself with here and there? I mean, you probably got a few, but
yeah, I feel strong resonance with many different animals. The one that is right now a big part of my life, and it's a big part of my relationship with Lucidity, is the owl.
Nice.
And it's the totem for our Healer's Sanctuary, and it sits atop our Lucidity totem pole, and it sort of represents to me sight in the night and sight without sight, dreaming, magic, wisdom, and so yeah, I love the owl, but I'm also a playful otter and and a wolf, and some of my friends, when I get grumpy in the morning, call me a bear, and in my dreams I've experienced being a dragon and being a whale and a dolphin and a big fish, and man, the list goes on.
Of course. Yeah, well, that's cool, man. Because like to be honest, like I thought when I was sort of setting that up, I thought your first answer was going to be wolf, but at the same time when you said owl, that sort of was really interesting. Because like for me, like I was actually going to expand on this topic and just mention what I'm about to mention, but I feel that people who've heard me talk, they've I've commonly reiterated that like my primary totem is wolf. That's, you know, what I associate myself with. But within like the last month, I've sort of been discovering my like second primary totem, and it's owl is what I was going to say, and I've just like had it sort of coming into my life in a few different ways that's caused me to like take notice, you know, to be able to observe those synchronicities. But yeah, like I like the idea of owl, and there's this one, I think I even mentioned it in a past Paradigm Shift episode, like there was this one fortune cookie that I have that I got, I don't even know when I got it, years ago, right? But I still have it somewhere, and basically says like the wise owl sees all before he flies, and again, you know, this idea back to wisdom, and like what you said, you know, gaining sight beyond sight, this sort of thing, and how that sort of even relates just into like dream exploration in specific. So if there's something else that you want to just tell us about the festival, I would love to hear that as well. But in addition to that, you know, I would just be curious to sort of hear your, if you might have some sort of like practical tips in terms of like the topic, like lucid dreaming, that we might be able to share with our audience here, since I imagine you yourself are obviously quite interested in that topic.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of my background. From a very young age, my dad and my mom both always shared with me their dreams, and my dad was reading Castaneda when I was about 7 years old, and he was sharing that dream wisdom with me as he was learning it. And so it's always been there, and I've always known that lucid dreaming is a possibility, and I've been an active lucid dreamer. By active, I mean like I've been keeping dream journals and talking about lucid dreams, and I've led a number of lucid dream workshops here in Santa Barbara, and I've been doing that for over 10 years now.
Cool.
And yeah, so I've got tons of tips and tricks and things that I love to do, and you know, methods for gaining lucidity and methods for keeping lucidity and methods to improve recall. So I could talk about that for hours and hours and hours. So maybe if you have a focused, specific question, I can help you or answer that specifically.
Okay,
otherwise
okay.
I'll just talk and talk.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, absolutely, right. One thing that I'm particularly interested in, and like I myself, I've only had like one experience with this that I can actually remember, but it's the idea of meditating while inside of a dream, while lucid. Have you done this before?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great. It's pretty cool because, you know, when a lot of people meditate in their waking reality and waking world, with this idea that when they get really good at meditating or something like that, they're going to experience some like earth-shattering, like groundbreaking experience, and that happens in the meditative state. But oftentimes, a lot of people get really frustrated before that happens and say, "Oh, well, this is butt kiss," or you know, I don't have the discipline, or people have a incredible transcendental meditative experience, but it's like one time. And the cool thing about when you sit down into a meditative position in a lucid dream, at least from my experience, is that you notice immediate results when you sort of focus energy into your third eye or into your dantian. It's like everything in your immediate reality changes. And, you know, I bring in sort of a Reiki type of energy work in my meditative state, in my lucid dreams, that depending on which chakra I'm activating, different things happen. So I'll go rocketing through the galaxy, or tunneling through the earth, or just like womp, womp, womp from my center, from my core, depending on where I'm sort of focusing my energy and activating with my dream body's hands over my chakra, over my different chakras. It's pretty intense and cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love playing with that state.
Yeah, like that's actually, I had this idea sort of come up to me yesterday, but within the Journey to Lucidity film that obviously we plan on filming at the Lucidity Festival, one scene within the film that I have in particular is going to be a scene like where we actually like meditate within the dream, and then that like stays into like a nice like solid like maybe like 5 even minute longer segment of like visualizations of like some really psychedelic stuff. And in terms of like sort of like traveling through the, you know, the galaxy in the ways that you can sort of do like once you get into that state within a dream, and just very like that's part of my goal, is to be able to sort of take these sort of like ideas and experiences that we have within dream and be able to crystallize it into an art medium that we can share with people within this waking state. And I think that will just be something really cool that people will actually be able to like watch and sort of meditate on at the same time. So it'll be pretty sweet.
That's beautiful. I really appreciate your vision, and I love what you're doing. And yeah, I'm really stoked to have you at Lucidity. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Like when I first heard about this festival, like it just, you know, I knew it was just something that I was sort of, you know, part of my dharma. It was something I wanted to be able to align myself with, and yeah, like as we get closer and closer and closer, like more of those ideas are going to start like coming to the surface, and it's really interesting because like just in terms of filmmaking, I sort of had this idea, and I mentioned it within the festival, is this idea that like the video, like the movie, is like already made. It's just a matter of us sort of like aligning with that reality, in the same way that when I sort of pursue my work as a director, as a filmmaker, I know that like by me being at the festival, and that by me putting forth like my honest effort, I'll get like all the footage I need, and then it's just a matter of being able to like edit it at that point and just like go forward from there. So like I'm just, you know, I'm already sort of like mentally visualizing myself like being in the moment and being at the festival already. And like, yeah, I'm already like, me studying my own dreams is like me preparing myself like for like creating more of this project. Like that's part of my research, is just being like more involved in my own like lucid dream exercises and dream exploration and dream recall and stuff. So yeah, we definitely want to be able to encourage everybody to be able to you know, get more involved with their own dream exploration. And obviously like the obvious tip for those of you who may be sort of somewhat new to this is begin writing down your dreams in a dream journal, and just continue to do that. And a lot of people will say, you know, like, oh well, I can't write down my dreams because I don't remember them. Well, you don't remember them because you don't write them down. You know, it's quite simple, and it might start off with just 1 or 2 words at a time, but you need to be able to flex that dream muscle, and because it is a muscle in a very real way, and it's basically similar to any other muscle. If you don't use it, you'll lose it, sort of thing. So meditation and being able to write down your dreams, and retrospective meditation within the day, and just being more conscious of where you are in the day, and simple reality checks. You know, like every time you walk through a door, just sort of make a habit of questioning yourself, you know, like, is this a dream? And then to be able to take those habits that you repeat in your waking state with you into the dream state, that will be able to help you trigger the lucidity. So, Jonah, but just we're going to wrap this up in a couple minutes, but just to get just a couple more practical tips out there. Like, what are some practical like triggers that you use to help you become lucid in a dream? Like, what's worked for you?
Yeah, there's 2 things that I'll share just based on piggybacking off of some of the things that you just talked about. In terms of reality tests, the ones that I grew up with, my dad told me about, it's the Castaneda one that he suggests, is looking at your hands.
Yeah.
When you look at your hands, it's a really easy thing to preload, because you can do it 10 times during the day and look at your hands and say, I wonder if I'm dreaming right now. And then when you look at your hands in a dream, you won't be able to focus on your fingers. You'll have like 3 fingers, and then you'll have 8, and then they'll get blurry. And when you see that, you know that you're dreaming. And then you can do anything you want, which is great. Other reality tests that I like are if I have a question, am I dreaming right now? I will try to put my hand through a wall, through a solid surface, and if I can, then I know that I'm dreaming. You can also do the same thing with your hand. You can try to put your one finger through the palm of your other hand, and if you can put it through there, then you know that you're dreaming, obviously, and you can do whatever you want. And then the other practical tip is around dream journaling. One of the things that I get from a lot of people is, I have to get up in the morning, I have to go to school or work, or I don't have time to sit there and write out my dreams. And I found that a really potent practice, if that's the case, is to just write down a title for the dream. And that does two things. It forces you to encapsulate the entire dream into one sentence, basically.
Yeah.
And then when you read that dream again, it's like a signpost, and the entire dream can often come flooding back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's obviously shorthand. It's quick. It's easy to do in the morning, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, dream exploration is such an exciting thing, and I think it's a great starting point to be able to introduce a lot of other consciousness shifting topics. I mean, once you sort of get into the idea of dream exploration, it starts opening you up to this idea that, there are experiences that we can have that are beyond this physical body, and everything is equally unreal. And that's actually like straight from Castaneda's book. Don Juan said that, and that was actually one quote that actually stuck with me, the idea that everything is equally unreal. So again, like this reality that we're in right now, like this is an extension of the reality that we have when we're in the dream state. It's just a matter of sort of different properties and so forth. So I mean, there's so much. It's interesting, like we learn within this reality to prepare us for the dream reality, and then we learn within the dream reality to prepare us for this one. So it's like back and forth, right? So I mean, to just think that all the work that we need to do is within the waking state, that's really just like half the picture. And that's where I think this whole like paradigm shift consciousness raising thing is being able to encourage people to like open themselves up to more experiences that they themselves by nature are innately like, it's within their divine right to be able to experience them. So, I mean, if you feel that like, like there's more to life and you want to experience it, then begin exploring lucid dreaming. And there's definitely like, because I mean, it's one thing to be able to talk about it, but until you've actually had those experiences for yourself, like it's just that, it's just talk. So you want to be able to have that knowledge through experience to be able to experience the truth yourself. So I mean, it's great that we'll be able to give you tips, but in order to truly know, like we want to be able to encourage you, the listeners, to follow your own dream exploration, and don't get put off if it, it might take a while, but part of the big thing is consistency. So if that means like, just remembering, like don't miss out on your dream journal entries, and be sure to like meditate as once a day, twice a day, as much as you can, really. And the meditation is going to help you be able to, we can get into this topic later, but meditation is very effective in just being able to get into that dream state. And then when you become lucid, it will help you in not being totally overwhelmed by that moment where you're just like, oh my God, I'm dreaming. Oh my God, what do I do? Da, da, da. And then you wake yourself up, right? Like meditation will help you sort of move into that state with a more mindfulness, calmness, where you're just like, all right, I'm dreaming. Okay, like now what, right? And when we say like, oh, like it's great that you can lucid dream and then you can do anything, that's not like necessarily the motive. Like the motive shouldn't just be to do anything. Like the motive should be to learn more about yourself. But at the same time, like, yeah, you are in this playground. And I think that's where like the whole Lucidity Festival is going to be very cool, because it will be very dream-like. We're going to be having like so much stuff going on, so many interesting characters, so many people like in costumes, just living, expressing themselves in really awesome ways. And I'm just so excited to be able to help share that experience with other people once we get closer to the date. So for anybody who may be interested in attending the Lucidity Festival, obviously go to lucidityfestival.com, and if you are interested, contact me on Facebook for a special promo code that we'll be able to forward you to be able to give you a bit of a discount as well. And make sure that you let me know about that. So facebook.com/skullbabylon, and when you guys use that promo code, it actually like goes back towards us to be able to like help even potentially like raise funds that will go back into the project. Like that's sort of how the promo code thing works. So yeah, it's really cool, very cool community collective experience that we got going on here. And Jonah, is there anything else that you'd like to mention about the festival before we just sort of move on to the next part?
Yeah, I mean, the festival is going to be amazing. I really encourage anybody who's listening who has never heard of it to check it out. And please come play with us, grow with us, dream with us. But the one thing that I wanted to leave on was actually about lucid dreaming, and sort of you were touching on like what our intentions are for lucid dreaming, and there are many different intentions, right? And becoming more attuned to who we really are and our higher selves is one of them, and expanding consciousness and engaging in transformation is another, and developing sort of like our deeper creative impulses is a third. But one of the things that I always love to anchor it in, because it resonates with everyone, is that it's just a lot of fun. And you can fly, and you can walk through walls, and you can shoot Spider-Man strings out of your wrist and swing from buildings, and as far as your imagination can take you, you can do it. And so that's the thing that I love to anchor it all in is fun. But obviously it's a portal to so much else, and I really value all of those things. But to base it on a foundation of fun and creative play is something that we've actually brought into the festival. Fun and creative play is one of our 7 core values, and so it's really important to maintain that.
Perfect.
Joyful lightness of being.
Cool, man. All right. Well, obviously, I am so grateful to be able to connect with you and to have you here on the radio show and to be able to have this conversation and be able to look forward to even more of it in the future. So, Jonah, thank you very much for attending us with us here on Paradigm Shift Radio. And obviously, for everybody listening, Facebook.com/Lucidity Festival. I just posted that in the live notes for the show, so be able to check that out. And obviously, LucidityFestival.com. And be sure to get your ticket and be sure to let me know so maybe we can run into each other within the dream. So very much looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, man. All right. Talk to you later, bro. Cheers.
See you in April.
See ya. All right, guys, so there we go. And, obviously check all that stuff out, all those links that I mentioned, like their page. Even if you might not be able to attend the festival, just keep an eye on it because, as a community, they're just doing some really cool stuff and some really inspirational stuff as well. And that's really what Paradigm Shift Radio is about collective education and inspiration. So with that said, I am kind of waiting to hear what the latest is from Little Panda. I'm not too sure. She was around a couple minutes ago, so I'm going to try and see if I can get in touch with her. Maybe I might have to send her a text or something, because I do have a song of hers queued up which I would like to play, but I just want to be able to play it once I know that she is actually going to be on the air shortly after I do play it. So in the meantime, guys, let's just do get a quick idea of where everybody is listening to right now on the show. So as per usual, guys, post in the live chat, those of you, all 48 of you in the live chat, where you are calling in from. So, or not calling in from, just listening from. And if you excuse me, I'm just going to do a text real quick right here. So, dun, 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 dun. And as I text, I'm just going to sing to myself. Dun, 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 1 4 8 dun, 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 dun. Hold on, guys. 9 8 0 3 3 8 8 4 8 9 8 0 0 3. Oh, that's where. Okay. All right. So okay. There. Send that text off. Hopefully we'll be hearing from Little Panda in a minute. So anyways, okay, so we got people calling, they're listening in from all over the place, as per usual. We got people listening in from Indiana. We got people listening in from California. We got people listening in from Minnesota, from Erie, Pennsylvania, from Liverpool, obviously, and Ottawa, and got some people listening from Austin, Texas, and sure there's more people listening from all over the place. So Montreal, and got some people, we got some people from Paradigm Shift, Quebec, who are listening in. And so thank you guys, obviously, for tuning in. And I know we got a lot of you who are kind of the regulars. And, oh, hold on 1 second. I just need to, 1 second, guys. I think she's calling me on the phone. Hey, is this Little Panda? Hey, okay, so you're just calling on my phone right now. Can you call to the host number, which is the number that I sent you? And then we'll bring you onto the air. Is that cool? Yeah, sure. Okay, let me text you the number for that real quick. So 1 second. Okay, all right. Talk to you, man. Okay, so hold on, guys. I'm just trying to coordinate myself here as I text. Oh, Christ. How do I do this properly? Recent calls, receive call, view, Send message. 1 second, guys. 5493. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so Little Panda is going to be calling into the show in a minute. Oh no, my live. Oh, dang it. Blasted Blog Talk. My live chat thing sort of closed up in one window but opened up in another. All right, okay. Anyways, so guys, as Little Panda is coming onto the show, please check out her website, which is www.littlepandamusic.com, and we're going to play a sample of her song as she gets dialed in. So this is a song called Just Breathe by Little Panda. So enjoy this. This is some really, really cool, just like acoustic type stuff. So again, Little Panda is coming up onto the show in just a minute. And be sure to tell your friends because we still got plenty more Paradigm Shift Radio ahead. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Breathe, just breathe, in and out slowly. Suddenly I see all the beauty around me. Breathe, everything is changing. I am seeing flowers outside and in me, blossoming. Just think love, and that's all. It feels so good. Can you believe in me? Believe in me. It feels so real. There's no need to fear anything. Breathe, just breathe, in and out slowly. Suddenly I see all the beauty around me. Breathe, everything is changing. I am seeing flowers outside and in me, blossoming. Just think love, and that's all. Yeah, that's all. It feels so good to just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Ooh, ooh,
All right, guys. So that was some very chill and heart-touching stuff from Little Panda off her new album, Love Is All. And you can download that album, and all you have to do is donate whatever you'd like to donate to be able to help support Little Panda in her music. And visit littlepandamusic.com to check out more of her stuff. And her YouTube, which I will also post into the live chat, is youtube.com/littlepanda. So be sure to subscribe to her channel if you're listening to the show right now and be able to get more of her stuff as she continues to create it. So without further ado, we are going to bring Little Panda onto the show and talk more about her music. So Little Panda, here we go. Hello, Little Panda. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey, welcome to Paradigm Shift Radio. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated. So, and you're calling in from Los Angeles right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in LA right now. I just got here. I was in Sedona, Arizona, but now I'm here.
Cool. And yeah, I know we were originally talking about like doing like some sort of live acoustic set, but being able to play your music there at the front of the interview, I think is still a very good substitute, being able to hear that professionally recorded quality that you yourself did entirely on your own. So just tell us a little bit about your music. Like, what's your inspiration behind creating the music that you create?
Wow, my inspiration. Well, like, my songs, when I write them, it's kind of like I'm writing to myself, and when I sing them, they're like reminders to myself of all the things that like I want to be, like who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And like and some of them are just well, they're stories of where I was and then what I became afterwards, or what I realized or learned, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like reminding myself of that every time I play it.
Yeah. It's always interesting when we sort of look back at our own life as the inspiration to sort of say like, wow, you know, like this is something I went through, and this is something that maybe if I were to like put it into a story, it might be able to like help other people, because you know all of us are sort of like going through different things, and it's all sort of like related in some way or another. But yeah, like your music is just very, very chill, and I only found out about it just like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago from a friend who I saw liking it as well on Facebook. And like, how long have you been working on music?
Well, like a long time. Like I started playing the piano when I was 8, and then I started writing my own stuff when I was like 15, and yeah, so I started then.
Right on. So yeah, like what do you hope that you know, when people hear your music, what do you hope they get out of it? I mean, not that I would suspect it'd be anything too particular, other than just like a good vibe, so to speak. But is there anything in particular that you're trying to get to the people listening to your music?
Just like, well, just like really feel it and feel like what I was feeling when I like wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the question again?
Yeah, you know, just sort of like, no, I think you answered it. I mean, yeah, like it's always interesting for an artist to be able to put emotion into something, and then to be able to have that emotion like reflected out to the people who observe it, who appreciate it. So yeah, like it's...
Oh, okay, I have a story to tell.
Go for it.
Because I thought of it when we were like whatever we were talking about like 3 minutes ago. But like, so like with me, it's either like, let's see, go run off and live in the forest and build a tree house. That'd be super awesome. But then like and just like create stuff in there and whatever, be a little wild child. But like I just like super want to like share my creations, because I see how they affect people, and like how much joy it brings them, and it brings me so much joy. And then it's just all this happiness and fun stuff. But yeah, when I like have my bad days, which I don't really have, it's just like when I get frustrated with like technical stuff, like when I was recording the album, that was like super not in my field of what I usually do. Like it was so crazy, and there were like times when I was like, oh my goodness, I'm just gonna walk off onto the mountain and never come back. I give up. But I didn't give up. And I'm glad I didn't, because this was really fun and making people really happy.
Yeah, and now like here we are like sharing your music with you know so many people that are going to be able to like hear it tonight on the radio station as well. So yeah, it's very cool. And you know like kind of going back to the song that we played before we brought you on here, like I think the whole idea of like just breathe is something that's such a simple reminder that all of us just need to be able to work with it as well. Like how much of that sort of do you bring into your daily philosophy, like the idea of just breathe?
Breathing is what I do when I feel like any little bit of weirdness, and then I just start to feel better, and then I start to remember like all the stuff that makes me really happy.
For sure. So what other stuff makes Little Panda happy?
Oh my goodness. Well, I love like playing out in the woods, and I like harvest, well, like I pick herbs and I make teas out of them.
Cool.
And and I paint and I write poetry, and I just let's see. Yeah,
like I know you put up your videos of poetry and stuff. Now you don't have you wouldn't be able to like recite any poetry off the top of your head, would you? And just like,
I don't think so. I wish I had my book.
Yeah, I didn't fully think about that. All right, well, that's all right, because I mean they're all, you got videos up on your YouTube that people can check out as well. So
yeah, it's all on YouTube.
Cool. Well, yeah, like what other sort of consciousness shifting stuff are you sort of interested in? Like, I mean, do you want to do you work with like crystals much or anything like that? Or I know you're big into painting and stuff, and yeah, like a lot of your paintings, the art that I've seen on your Facebook, it's very sort of like fractal related as well. Like I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like really fun. Like I don't really know what's up with crystals, but for some reason I always have one in my pocket.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And I don't know what's up with like the paintings that I paint or like the stuff that I create, like that art. I just kind of, I'm like, I just do it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, like I think, you know, as an artist, like I can say this for myself as well, like a big part of being able to create art is being able to just like let go of the blockages and be able to like let it sort of flow through us as well.
Yeah,
like,
totally. Yeah. Like that's what I do. Like when I'm super curious about something, like questioning, I just like start to write like a poem or a song, and I don't really think about what I'm doing. I just let it happen, and then by the end of the song, like the answer or the question is answered. And really quite awesome.
Yeah. There's sorry, go ahead.
I don't remember it. I'm like super trying to like concentrate because there's like music and like people talking, and there's like weird fuzzy noise, and I have like super like crazy short attention span. Like if I see something shiny, I'm like, oh, shiny, and then I forget what I was talking about. But I think I'm doing pretty good.
You are. You're doing great. So, but what I was gonna say, you know, sort of relating to this idea of like how we let creativity sort of come through us as artists. There was one quote that we actually had in our meeting last night in the Paradigm Shift London meeting. Someone sort of brought up this idea of sort of questioning, like, are you trying your hardest within a given moment? Yet, in the act of trying your hardest, that means you're not trying at all. Sort of think about that, you know, like literally think like are you trying your hardest? And if you're trying your hardest, that means that you shouldn't have to be trying at all. That means that you are just open to the flow that has already come like your way. That you know, like it takes like a little practice. You might have to sort of like train yourself in it where you are sort of thinking about it. But once you get up to that point, it's just second nature. You know, you just sort of become that conduit sort of thing. So. Yeah, like I'm sure when you're playing your music, it's just sort of, you know, you just sort of get into autopilot mode, I would imagine, eh?
I do. I don't even, like, know what I'm talking about sometimes, and I'm like, does this make any sense? I don't know, but it sounds cool, the melody's awesome, and I just keep going, and then I look at it, like, afterwards, and I'm like, wow, I was actually, like, I created something pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I, like, blow my own mind every single time. I'm like, whoa, I just did that.
So yeah, that's an inspirational message for the people who are out there. So if you haven't done that lately, blow your own mind. You know, do something, do whatever it does, and blow your own mind. Surprise yourself, because you will be surprised by what you yourself can create if you just sort of allow yourself to create. You know, don't hold back. Like, don't judge yourself either. So just let it happen. I think it's very cool. So in terms of your album, do you want to just maybe talk about a couple of the other songs that you have on there? Like, you got some interesting song titles on there as well. Like, I downloaded my copy of the album as soon as I saw that you put it up there, just to be able to get a copy of it and support you in your work. And yeah, oh no, I greatly appreciate it for you. So, but yeah, just tell us a little bit more. Like, what are a couple of your favorite songs off the album that people will get a chance to hear?
Well, one of my favorite songs is this song called My Little White Dragon. And I wrote it about my puppy that I used to have. And, like, I had her for, like, a few months, but then, like, she got into some rat poison, and then she died. And so, like, when that happened, like, that was, like, the first, like, ever, like, in, like, actual death that I had ever experienced. And so it was, like, really interesting, like, how I began, like, how the way I perceived, like, existence, like, shifted. And I was like, where is she now? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
And then I started writing the song, and it's pretty much like, wherever she is, it got to be somewhere, like, awesome, because when we were hanging out, it was pretty awesome. Like, I was living, or, like, I wasn't, like, living out in the forest, but I was pretty much camping to the point where I was living out there, because I just didn't want to go back home. I was living in Phoenix, but then I would go camp out, like, in Sedona and just, like, stay out there. And I had this, like, little puppy, and I had this thing where, like, whenever I start to feel afraid about doing something, I always do it. Like, I do what I'm afraid of. So, like, I never had her on a leash because I was like, well, why would I have her on a leash? Being on a leash, like, is a bummer. Like, if I was on a leash...
you want to be on a leash? Yeah, exactly right.
No, and then it's, like, so restraining, and I want her to, like, learn and grow. And I was like, the only reason why I would have her on a leash is because I'm afraid of, like, the worst that could happen. But, like, who's to say that the best is, like, the best can happen, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd rather assume, like, the best. And so, yeah, I never had her on a leash, and we were always camping, and she'd just, like, go off and play, and then I'd make, like, a little animal noise, like, or, like, I don't know, something. And then she'd, like, pop out of nowhere, and then, yeah.
That's cute,
but the song was, like, about, like, what she taught me. Like, it goes, you taught me how to speak without words, to go within and to feel what to be heard. And it's just, like, it's just, everyone go listen to it.
Yeah.
And you get it. It's crazy.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Well, Little Panda, I think we're going to get moving on to our group meditation that we're doing here shortly. Was there anything else that you just want to share with the people before we sort of say farewell for now?
Yeah, this was really fun. It was, like, my first time doing this. I'm kind of spacey right now because I'm just, like, kind of spacey all the time. Like, naturally. I just... Yeah.
No, it's very much like a panda. Yeah.
Is is that how pandas are? Yeah, like people ask me, they're like, they ask me, like, am I high? And I'm like, no. I'm not. I can't, like, do any of that stuff. It, like, just messes with me too much. Like, smoking hurts my voice, and so.
Oh, yeah, true.
What you see is what you get. This is just how I naturally am.
Yeah,
It's fun.
Oh, I like it. I like you just the way you are, so.
Oh.
Much appreciated. Cool. All right, so everybody listening to the show, go to littlepandamusic.com and facebook.com/littlepanda. Is it just youtube.com/littlepanda? Is that it?
Little Panda Music.
Okay, so it's youtube.com/littlepandamusic as well. So be sure to check that out, guys, and check out her music, sample a couple of her songs, and then download her CD when you get the chance. And I'm sure she'll be greatly appreciative of you guys doing that and supporting her work. So cool. So Little Panda, any last message to put out there to all the people out on the internet? Something inspirational? Follow your dreams. Eat bamboo.
Yeah. Eat bamboo. Go read my bio on my website, and that's pretty much what I would be saying right now, just like what the album is. I feel like love is everything, like that's all there really is, and everything like fear or anger, it's not real, it's an illusion, because if you trace it back, it like stems from a lie. And that's like my experience, and so it's like all there is all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
yeah.
But you like you can still feel like all the blah stuff. But you don't have to. It's not real. It's like a little magic trick, and once you figure it out, like life gets so awesome.
That's right.
Awesomer.
Awesome.
It's probably already awesome, you know.
It's pretty awesome already.
Like,
yeah. Cool. Yeah,
go look at the stars and get your mind blown by them, because they're like crazy. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's your advice, people. Go look at the stars, whether it be tonight or tomorrow or just in general. But some wise words of advice from your friend Little Panda. So thank you once again for being with us here tonight. And we'll definitely be in touch, and let me know when you have some time and we can have you jump onto the show and actually maybe do some like live on air sort of guitar playing and stuff. Unless you want to do like an a cappella for us last minute. But,
I can I can sing you a little something.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, please go ahead.
Just let your wings. Love is longer than me. Should ever see, there's one thing that I know. Love is all I ever want to show. I love you guys.
Yay.
Awesome.
I'm clapping.
Cool. Go paint a picture.
Yeah, that was actually an excerpt from. Yeah, go play in the forest, people. What are you waiting for? Put down your computer right now. Go play in the forest, even if it's not at night. Yeah, bring a flashlight.
No, you don't need a flashlight.
Oh shoot! Yeah, go practice your night vision. So.
Yeah, totally. I think is the moon kind of bright.
I was about to say the moon is your flashlight. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So Love Is All, the official first album released by Little Panda, available at littlepandamusic.com, and check it out. So Little Panda, we'll say farewell for now, and we'll definitely talk to you at some point in the future. So take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Cool. All right. So there we go, guys. So that was Little Panda, who's like super chill by nature, very much like an actual panda who, you know, just when I think of pandas, I just like think of them just like sitting there and like eating on bamboo and just being super awesome and stuff, and that's what she does. So I don't know if she actually eats bamboo, but I know she's like obviously like eats like healthy and all that sort of thing too. But hey, that's something we should all be doing as well. So learn from the panda. You know, maybe panda is your totem animal as well. So With that said, guys, we will be moving into our group meditation as per usual, and we do have a few other callers who are waiting on the line right now. And guys, just be patient because we will be creating the opportunity to bring you guys onto the show after we do our group meditation, and then we'll still have a good 30 minutes, give or take, of time for you guys to bring on whatever it is you want to bring on. So let's do that, guys. Is everybody ready for the mid-show group synchronized meditation? Should we get ready for that? Yeah. I know a lot of you guys have been busy talking in the live chat as per usual, so that's good to see. And maybe at some point in the show, guys, just make sure that you connect with each other. So post your links for your Facebooks, just sort of send a link into the live chat and say, hey, this is my Facebook, feel free to add me so that you guys can get connected as well with each other. And also, if someone can private message me, someone on Facebook who is already my friend on Facebook, I'm going to be looking for another person to host the Hangout afterwards. I myself will not be able to stick around for the Hangout because I have to be up early in the morning for work. So I don't want to be stuck up all night with you guys. But you guys are still welcome to have the Hangout. So if somebody can please coordinate creating a Hangout and then just message me in Facebook telling me that you'll do it, and I'll make sure that the link gets posted into the live chat and onto the Facebook page. And it's I'll just mention this now because it's just really interesting. Just before we get into the meditation, some of you guys have would have seen a video that I put up earlier in the week about this new job that I started, and that's the job that I'm actually doing tomorrow morning. And the job is actually ridiculously synchronistic, but it basically involves me dressing up like a superhero and going around and making people smile. So it's pretty awesome. It's part of the promotion for a radio station in my area. And one sec. And yeah, and it's just totally fun because I get to use my radio voice. So I mean, this is me talking, right? This is how I usually sound. But when I get into the character for the superhero, his name's Freebie Fred. And I'm just hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Freebie Fred of 98.1 Free FM. And I'm here to bring you smiles and justice to children and babies and freedom and love and light and everything. And it's just really fun because it's me actually doing kind of paradigm shifty stuff, actually bringing smiles into the world, and but actually legitimately doing it as a job. It's crazy synchronistic how I got it, and the fact that it's the heart chakra, which is the green, which is the most neutral sort of color that people can sort of relate to, and the whole idea that it's promoting freedom. I'm encouraging people to find their own freedom, to bring more freedom into this world, and I think that's something that you need to do as well. Find your own freedom. You don't have to have someone else tell you how to do it. You can find it for yourself. So be your own hero and find your own freedom. Those are two of my catchphrases as well. Oh, and my actual catchphrases for my superhero are things it's the little things that make a big difference in this world. And I tell people that, I'm the one wearing the costume, but you're the real superhero sort of thing. And the best thing in life are free. So yeah, so you can just imagine that, and check out my YouTube. Go to youtube.com/skullbabylon and check out the video that I have up for that. So just want to get that out there just to share with you guys what's new in the reality that I'm sort of currently within. So cool stuff. And obviously, guys, before we get into this meditation, just to remind you, and I'll remind you once more at the end of the show, please, if you can, donate to the Journey to Lucidity Fund to be able to help make this project as amazing as possible. And even if you can't actually donate at the moment, please be able to just share the trailer and share the GoFundMe page with your friends to help create awareness about the project. So that is greatly appreciated as well. And obviously the link, gofundme.com/journey-to-lucidity. So there you go, guys. All right, so you guys are ready. Let's get ready for our meditation. So just ask everybody to sort of slow down the messages in the chat. And I'm just getting myself all comfortable and ready to go. And one sec. So again, meditation as per usual. There's different ways to approach it. One way that I've sort of been reinforcing and re-encouraging through the meditation that we do as a community is the idea of being able to use the creative side of our mind and be able to pick a point of focus and be able to use the meditation as a chance for us to refine our focus, to be able to identify the aspects of our mind that have a tendency to wander and to not be totally drawn and swayed by like the by sort of the thoughts that come into our mind. So with this meditation, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be using a little bit different audio track, and it's going to go for at least a decent while. It's going to go just for a little bit more than 5 minutes, but we're going to make this one just like really like this is the practice of meditation. This is like, you can almost think of this as a workout, but it's not something that should be a chore by any means. Like, you're going to feel really good once you sort of go through this whole process, and then it'll just like set the mood for the rest of the show. So with that said, let's just all get comfortable, and we'll be using this meditation to focus on our breath throughout the time period that we have the sound effects in the background. And the sound effects for this time, it's not going to be a singing bowl. It's actually going to be like sound effects of like rain, and there's like some birds and stuff in the sound effects, so very ambient. So let's get ready to refine our minds, to crystallize our vision. So just ask everybody to get nice and comfortable wherever they are. Maybe you're sitting in a chair, maybe you're on a bed, maybe you're on the ground, wherever you need to be. Just find that spot for you. Even if you just want to, if you have a bed nearby, you could even just try lying down on the ground or on your bed, on your back. So whatever's comfortable for you. So let's just relax, just loosen up our shoulders a bit. Just make sure any extra tension that we might just have, we just prepare ourselves to let it go. Let's just take that first breath, that first mindful breath, perhaps the first mindful breath of the day. Nice gentle inhale and gentle exhale. Just continue to find this rhythm. And throughout this meditation, once we allow ourselves to relax even more, I want you to repeat the mantra of inhale, exhale, for you to be able to use as a focal point of your mind. So in addition to actually breathing in and out, I want you to say to yourself in your mind as you do it, inhale, exhale. Just saying that to yourself in your mind, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And just repeat this. Keep repeating it. Throughout your meditation, you will find that thoughts will come into your mind, and they may try to distract you. Your goal, your objective for this meditation is to maintain this mantra throughout it. Don't allow yourself to merely get 30 seconds in and be, wow, this is super easy, therefore I'm not going to do it. No, no, no. This is an act of discipline and consistency. Being able to reclaim and refine our mind. So inhale. Exhale. Again, repeat to yourself, inhale. Exhale. Just allow yourself to relax even more. Any tension that you might have, any tension that might be in your neck, even in your jaw, take your tongue off the top of your mouth. Relax your cheekbones. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your ears. Inhale. Exhale. Center yourself on your breath. Feel your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to do this. Continue to repeat the mantra. You will know if your mind has wandered when you no longer hear yourself repeating those words. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to do this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Anything else is only a distraction if you allow it to be. Where you put your focus is entirely up to you. Continue to choose to use your free will to keep your focus on your breath, on the mantra. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to practice your meditation. Repeat the mantra to yourself from this point on. So again, just bring your awareness, keep it on your breath. Inhale, exhale. It's okay if your mind wandered. The objective of this is not to judge yourself, because after all, there is no such thing as an external enemy. All you're trying to do in this process is to become aware of the habits of your own mind, and then over time, to be able to create new ones, to be able to change the programming of your own mind. Perhaps you may find that your mind has a tendency to wander. That's okay. It's not a crime. Your objective is to be able to acknowledge when it does, and to be able to gain more control over how much it does from this point forward. So if you were able to keep the mantra the entire time, then congratulations. Yet at the same time, do not hold that with pride. Simply know that you did as you needed to do, and you will do it again. Because even though you did it once, doesn't mean that you've achieved the ultimate goal. The goal is to maintain consistency and to be able to push yourself even further, to be able to sharpen the sword. So good job to everyone. And of course, for those of you who maybe weren't able to keep the mantra going, good job to you as well, because you took part in the mere act of observation, being able to observe your mind and learn more about it in the process of doing so. So namaste to everyone. I am because we are. And with that said, if everybody just wants to, again, begin to bring awareness back to the room around you. Just wiggle your toes and your fingers. And open your eyes. Perfect. Awesome. So I think that was a good meditation, a little bit different from what we normally do, but I encourage you to do that on your own. And if you would actually like that same audio track, you can download it from paradigmshiftcentral.com/library and then go to the audio sources for meditation. You can download that plus a few other audio tracks, including the singing bowl meditation that we have traditionally used in the past. So be sure to check that out. Be sure to download the tools and be sure to continue the practice on your own. So with that said, guys, we will be moving on to other callers who are interested in coming onto the air to share their thoughts with the global community. So obviously, if you haven't yet, if you might still be listening to the show and you might be new, facebook.com/ParadigmShiftRadio. Be sure to check that out and be sure to join the page and be sure to tell your friends. And of course, ParadigmShiftCentral.com, and be sure to share that page and browse it. There's so much stuff. You can spend like a whole afternoon just browsing that website and checking out everything on there, including all of the links in the library. There's lots of PDFs there. There's lots of books there. There's lots of things that you can browse to be able to continue learning and connecting the dots in your own way. Because I mean, you know, it has never just been about blindly believing what somebody else has to tell you. It's being able to connect the dots in your own fashion. That's what makes it exciting, because we're all kind of working back towards source, but we're all like going at it from different directions. So again, just find your own path and connect your own dots. So very cool stuff. So with that said, I'm going to bring on a caller, and this caller is calling in from area code 580, and I believe this is actually Jimmy. So Jimmy, if you're ready, we're going to bring you onto the air, and for anybody else who would like to call in within the last 35 minutes of the show, feel free to do so, and you can call in to the host number either on a regular phone or through Skype. If you're using Skype, just scroll up to the page, click the Skype icon button, and it will launch Skype very easily to do so. Or you can call in off a regular phone at phone number 347-539-5493. So again, 347-539-5493, and then press 1 and I'll see you in the queue. So Jimmy, if you're ready, we are going to bring you onto the air. So here we go. Hello, is this Jimmy?
Yeah, hello. This is actually not Jimmy. This is Alex.
Okay.
I had to have Jimmy get a hold of you guys through Facebook because I guess the link wasn't working.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, no, I see Jimmy's message now. So Alex, okay, all right. So we got Alex here, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling in from out in Medicine Park, Oklahoma.
Cool.
Actually,
and you're like actually outside
strange.
right now. Like I can hear cars going by and stuff. I think. Can I?
That's my sister vacuuming.
Oh, that's vacuuming. Oh, okay. Anyways, all right.
Yeah.
So Alex, what would you like to bring to the show tonight?
Actually, I was really intrigued because I've kind of followed Paradigm Shift and all the things you've been doing, and your most recent one, Jimmy actually sent me a link to it. You were asking for like donations and things like that, but I didn't actually know what you were asking donations for until I sat down and I was listening to the chat. And he was talking about how the villages, that was an amazing idea, you know, and it kind of with the totems and what they represent, you know, the different aspects of each other that, I mean, we are all.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, like going back to the Lucidity. Sorry, you're still there. Go ahead.
No, just go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just sort of like reiterating what you were saying, yeah, just in regards to the Lucidity Festival that we were talking about earlier on the show. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a really going to be a very cool festival in itself. But yeah, like, was there, I know Jimmy mentioned just in the chat, he was saying that might have some, like, you're interested in talking about the increasing synchronicities and stuff like that. Was that something that you want to get into? Yeah? Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because, you know, the whole 2012, it was a marker for us, and ever since then, I don't know if it's just because I've been paying attention to it or what it is, but number synchronicity has been happening, and you remember about 2011 we had the big chaos where, you know, everything was in such chaos and disharmony, and it's like we're starting to able to see how the chaos is actually able to where, you know, it allows us to come through that, you know, come through the chaos and unfold into, you know, whatever it is that we can unfold into.
Yeah, there's an interesting quote that I really like. It's the idea of symmetry out of chaos. And, you know, that's like the world will right itself in this very like sort of bigger picture perspective. You know, like nature sort of like has this tendency to be able to like take back what it is, sort of thing, like over time and stuff. But yeah, like I've definitely I mean, synchronicities for me have always been a big part of the awakening process. When you sort of start to begin to realize that the universe is literally like having a conversation with you if you're like actually like aware and able to sort of acknowledge like when it's like sort of sending those messages and stuff. So what are some examples of some sort of synchronicities that maybe you've noticed just recently, or just some big ones that sort of catch you?
The most recent for me, and it keeps happening quite regularly, you know, just like, let's say, you know, oh, I wish I had an extra $5 here, or, you know, maybe I need, you know, a pack of cigarettes, you know, tomorrow. And when that time comes, instead of, you know, worrying about it, oh, you know, I'm not going to have it, so I have to worry about it. Instead of doing that, you know, I do what Jordan's been working on, you know, panic to that freedom, you know, work through the chaos, you know, into the symmetry that everybody wants to be in. And it's amazing because things just kind of, you know, they just kind of fall into place at exactly the right time. And, I mean, I'm curious as to what, you know, what you can do with this, you know. It's like a hidden secret. I mean, you have to tell everybody, but who's going to listen?
Yeah. I mean, you know, synchronicities in a lot of ways they're sort of like as a reaffirmation in some cases, and sometimes there's just points where they're just like really bang on and really just sort of there just to sort of get your attention. I love those moments where, and people who are listening to the show, I'm sure you've had it in your own way, those moments where you'll either be like reading a book or you'll be having a conversation and you'll say a specific word, and then at the same moment that you say that word or read it, like someone else will repeat it, like within a different scenario. So I mean, like you might be having a conversation with someone, and like you say a word, and as you say that word, like someone on the radio station that just happened to be on, like says that word as you said it. And you're, whoa, like what? Like really? Did that really just happen? And I think those are those synchronistic moments. Because I mean, you know, for somebody who might not be entirely familiar, like what is synchronicity? If I were to explain synchronicity, it's this idea that, you know, if you were to sort of just imagine like all this sort of like all these tendrils, all these sort of like branches projecting out into an infinite amount of directions, they all just sort of like go out and about. But in the same sense that there's all this chaos, there's also like this symmetry, this synchronicity, where these moments are brought into a single place at once. So you might have like object A, which could be a person or like even just like a song or a number, and object B, which is, you know, another person or another song or a number or whatever. And then like throughout this whole chaos, they just happen to run into each other at the right place at the right time. And then there's also like the additional level of whether or not that person is actually aware of it. So I mean, for me, you know, for me, like my synchronicity is oftentimes with numbers. Like obviously people will see the 1111. Like for me, my resonating number is also 96. And even just like, I mean, it happens fairly regularly, but I mean, as an example, like the other day, I mean, it happened like multiple times within the day, but usually what will happen with me is I'll be like on a bus or something, and I'll just be sort of like in the zone, sort of like writing in my journal on the bus, and then I'll like look up out the bus window, and then I'll see a car driving past us that has like the license plate number with 96 on it. You know, like what sort of sparked me to lift my head up at that moment. And it's also this idea that synchronicity, it comes to you when you're not looking for it. Like if you're going around looking for 96 or looking for 1111, it doesn't really happen in the same way. It's like you find something the moment that you stop looking for it. And that's actually like a very deep idea when you think about it as well, just sort of how that works. But like synchronicity. Go ahead.
That gets into the aspect of the whole meditation. I mean, it's like the only reason to meditate, we meditate, is to put intention, you know, to silence that chatter, to silence the kind of chaos or noise, and to just let the feedback that we've put out, let that kind of come back and manifest, you know, for us. And like you said, it happens when, I mean, you're not even looking for it, you're not even trying. And so it's a more natural thing than what a lot of people, I mean, they want to make it more difficult than what it is, but we naturally, like, this is what we do. You know, this is the universe. This is the structure that we are in. So, I mean, how to work better within that. And that, I love how it comes up with the whole, you know, lucidity and, you know, lucid dreaming, and just the freedom of it, that kind of ease that you naturally dream. You know, these things naturally occur. But, I mean, we need to pay more attention to it, because that's the things that, you know, we've been missing. You know, the pieces, the missing pieces of the puzzle.
Totally. So yeah, you know, for anybody listening to this show, just keep your eyes open for those synchronicities, and it might just be something as simple as the 1111. You know, obviously 1111 is often referred to as the awakening code or something like that, because that may be the first synchronicity that really gets people's attention, and that's like what it was like even for like my mom. You know, like she was just like, she was like asking me, she's like, why do I keep seeing 1111? You know, like, what does that mean? And we sort of talked about this on the show before. It sort of starts off where these synchronicities are just sort of, at first, they're just sort of there to like shake you and sort of get your attention. But then eventually they're sort of there to like be reaffirmation, to say like, hey, you know, like you're going in the right direction. Like the universe is sort of acknowledging that, like, you know, keep going. Like we got your back. Like you're where you need to be at this moment to get to where you're going, sort of thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like synchronicities are always going to be there. And especially when we understand like the fact that they're like part of the law of reality, it's really cool, because in terms of like the paradigm shift communities, or just like going out and about and meeting new people, we can understand that there's a potential for us to like meet that other person at the right place at the right time, should we choose to like step out our door and engage into like that synchronistic playground that is like, you know, our local community, so to speak. So yeah, like put ourselves out there, and in turn the synchronicities will occur, which is always really exciting. So yeah. But and Alex, any sort of other thoughts and ideas that you wanted to get out there? And I think we're going to try moving on to another caller in the next couple minutes.
Let's see. no, I think that's pretty much it. It's kind of I've just been having a lot of like experiences with the the chaos settling, and it's peaceful. It's peaceful, and it gives you that sense of like you said with the synchronicities. It's like you're on the right direction.
Yeah,
you're not there yet, obviously. One step at a time.
One step at a time. Totally. And okay, sorry. Where did I sort of forget where you said you were calling from, but are you involved with a paradigm shift community where you are? Are you thinking about starting one up with Jimmy?
Me and Jimmy have been talking about it for about a year now. We don't quite have enough people, and I mean the distance. Like I'm kind of out here in the middle of the country, and he's more in the city, over in Lawton, Oklahoma. So. It's kind of hard to get together, especially right here in the Bible Belt. I don't know if there's a lot of people like in Texas that are, experiencing that kind of problem, just finding like-minded individuals. But, put that intention out there that you want to,
Yeah, totally.
Ask and you shall receive. And like I said, the experience that I've been having lately, it's like I've met so many people just randomly, didn't even want to meet that person, didn't even like him when I first saw him, but turned out that they're the next step to what I need, and vice versa. We're co-evolving in this, and that's I really like how Paradigm Shift brings that community thing all together.
For sure, yeah. All of us got a role to play, and again, like you guys are where you are for a reason. So I mean, it might be challenging in its own unique ways, but embrace that challenge and meet it with creativity, meet it with love. That's sort of what I always say. So cool. All right, well, Alex, appreciate you calling in and tell Jimmy we said hello. Obviously.
No problem. I think he's listening in anyway.
Yeah, he is.
But I appreciate you guys bringing me on.
No problem, man. All right, and I'll post your I'll get Jimmy to send me a link for your Facebook, and then I'll include your Facebook into the show notes as well if anybody would like to get in touch with you. So it should be all good from there.
All right.
Cool. All right, thanks a lot, Alex. Talk to you later.
Not a problem. You guys have a great night.
Take care. Cool. All right, so 10 minutes left in the show, and again, still looking for someone to host the hangout afterwards. So possibly, I think we do got someone. I think we got Jessica, who has the hangout up and running. Let me just double check with that. It looks like she already got it up, and I'll post a link for that onto the show page soon. Though I just want to make sure that it is potentially set up for on air. Jessica, if you can just double check to make sure that you selected the broadcast on air option, and if not, then maybe just restart the hangout just to make sure that we can record it onto YouTube as well. So, but anyways, so with that said, we're going to bring on another caller. So caller from area code 203, we're going to bring you onto the air, and this may be our last caller just for this time. And for anybody who didn't get onto the air this time, be sure to tune in to another episode or join us in the after party and hang out with us through the Google Hangout as well, and we can talk about more stuff there. So again, caller from 203, we're going to bring you onto the air. So here we go. Hello, caller. Can you hear me? Hello, caller. I can hear you listening. Can you hear me? Is there a caller there? Okay, caller, I'm going to have to move on to the next caller since I don't think you're ready. So, okay. Anyways, all right. Next person that we are going to try bringing onto the air is caller with Skype. Oh, okay, I know who this is. So this is Jenny. I'm presuming from Paradigm Shift Ventura, who is also in California, who is also going to be attending the Lucidity Festival. So this is cool. This will be able to bring the whole show full circle. So presuming this is Jenny, we're going to bring you onto the show. So here we go. Hello, Jenny.
Hello, how's it going?
Hey, good to hear you. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
And so you're in Ventura, which is a place in California, yes?
Exactly, yes.
Yes,
Definitely.
okay, cool. All right. So what would you like to bring to the show tonight?
Well, if you guys are talking about synchronicities, I wanted to bring up the fact that I have had a lot of synchronicities popping it up in my life, probably mostly because I've been paying attention more. But one of the ones that I've noticed recently, let me get my little notebook out. My best friend asked me to make her a hat representing the phoenix, and then this was all yesterday, or actually this was all Friday, and then a guy at the mall had told me that he wanted to get a tattoo of a phoenix, which, I mean, I guess that doesn't directly, it doesn't directly represent anything in me, but it's, popping up around other people and talking to me about the phoenix. So, and I'm not exactly positive about what the phoenix represents besides, like, coming out of old and going into a new position in life.
For sure. Cool. Yeah. No, it's interesting when you can sort of like observe synchronicities in like other people's environments and stuff too, so like the people who we meet, like we never meet anyone by accident. Like if there's a person in your life, like they're in your life for a reason, like they have something to learn from you and you have something to learn from them, sort of thing. But yeah, no, Phoenix is always an interesting symbolic animal as well, so that's cool. Now was there anything else that in particular you wanted to talk about, or maybe even like questions, or just like how things are going with Paradigm Shift Ventura, rather? That would be the appropriate direction, I think, to go in. So Paradigm Shift Ventura, you guys started that not too long ago, like less than a month ago, but you've already had a couple meetings so far. How have the meetings been going for that?
The meetings have been going really, really well. The first meeting, I only had one other person show up, and she was somebody that I hadn't met before, and she goes to our local city college. And we actually sat down and talked to each other about an hour, and we're able to carry on a really good conversation. We were talking about lucid dreaming and astral projection and kind of sharing our viewpoints on that. And then our second meeting we had last Friday, not a couple of days ago, but the Friday before that. And about 7 or 8 people showed up besides me, so that was a big jump in numbers. Yeah, and we all were able to share a lot of really cool ideas. We got a lot of talking about meditation and, again, astral projection and lucid dreaming, because everybody seems to be into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going really good, and I expect it to become greater and greater.
Totally, and I think you guys are in a really area just in terms of like the energies. Like West Coast always has like a lot of like that sort of energy out there. I mean, even just when I was out in Vancouver just for a little bit, like it's just a whole, it's got a vibe of its own. So I mean, no doubt where you are, there's the people who are interested in it. It's just a matter of like building the tribe and again using those synchronicities to help bring everyone together. So no, it sounds like you guys are definitely moving forward with a lot of potential. So congratulations on doing that. Like I'm really excited for that, and and I'm really excited to be able to meet up with each other at the Lucidity Festival as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you're pretty excited about that, I guess, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I am so glad that Lucidity was brought into my life. It's definitely needed right now for me, and to be able to be given the opportunities that I have with Lucidity Festival, being a media intern, and meeting all of these wonderful people and being introduced to this open source type of festival and what it brings to us as human beings is a really beautiful and amazing thing.
Did you attend the festival last year?
You know what, I didn't, and I'm really sad that I didn't. I had heard about it and I wasn't able to go. I didn't have the means to, but I watched all of the YouTube videos and I feel very connected with all of the people, and I've actually made quite a few friends already with the festival.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and do you think there's going to be some other people from Paradigm Tour who are going to be going with you this year?
I think so. I have a couple of closer friends that are planning on going. We're gonna have a really cool camp set up, and be able to sit down and chill in a big tent, and have our own little personal tents too. So I have a few people that are planning on going so far with Paradigm Shift Ventura.
Awesome, sweet. Well, I look forward to being able to meet up with everyone. That'll be cool. We'll have like a little like Paradigm Shift group like within the whole festival thing going on. But
yeah,
that's awesome.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, so we got about 2.5 minutes left on the show. Is there any sort of message that you want to share with people, whether it be like inspirational or insightful?
I
maybe just
peace and love, and look within for with anything that you might be having trouble with. Always look within and kind of seek that within yourself, and find truth and meaning in it and move forward.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like any really good teacher will teach his student the most important thing that there is, and that's self-sufficiency. So, the most we can do is sort of like point our finger in a direction and be able to like help other people find their own way, and know that like so much of what we need to learn is already within us. And that's where, let's get into more of the dream exploration topic another time, because that is always something that brings us back to that topic, that the universe has so much to teach us, and a big part of those lessons are taking place within our dreams. So obviously, if you haven't already, check out the Lucidity Festival website, www.lucidityfestival.com, facebook.com/lucidityfestival, and also the gofundme.com/journey-to-lucidity. Please donate to that to be able to help me get out to California and be able to meet up with Jenny here of Paradigm Shift Ventura, and to be able to document some incredibly awesome stories to be able to share with you guys and the world. And check out the Paradigm Shift Central.com and also Facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Ventura if you happen to be in Jenny's area, to be able to connect with that community and help it grow. And so Jenny, obviously, just any last thing for like the people who might be thinking about starting a Paradigm Shift community in their area, just like a couple words to help motivate them to do it?
It's a really easy thing, and
totally.
Honestly, the people that will come to you will come. Don't make it hard on yourself. Don't make it difficult. I mean, like I said, I only had one person show up the first time, and I wasn't discouraged by that at all. It turned out to be an amazing conversation. So things unfold as they will. So cool, guys. All right, so thank you, Jenny, and thank you, everyone listening. Join us in the Paradigm Shift after party. That link is posted up on the Facebook and in the live chat, facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Radio. And we are officially ending the show now. So, Jenny, let's just say a final farewell to all our friends out there as we begin to play the outro music. So, Jenny, just say goodbye to everyone. Bye. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. All right, and this is your host, Skull Babylon. Add me on Facebook at facebook.com/Skull Babylon. And until next time, see you in the future. Take care, guys.